So I can only do 30 minutes of video, and so I had to end. Yes, so King Solomon, so will be the part two of the video. So King Solomon fell because these women were not genetically aligned with him. That is for another day, guys. I'm not going to get into that topic because it's a lot to explain. I will just say in that time, everybody was very guarded of their bloodline. As we see today, we have genetic racism. Genetic racism exists because people are guarding their bloodline. They are guarding their bloodline. They know what will happen if they allow people into their bloodline. The wish people, they are guarding their bloodline. Europeans are guarding their bloodline. Africans are, let me not go there because then the people are going to say I'm racist. I love my race. I love my people. I see what the slackness that they allow. I see the things they do with no regards to their race. I see how they allow, themselves to be taken in and not understand that everything is spiritual warfare against melanin. I don't believe that one can ever wash melanin off this planet because the universe is melanin. Everything that creates is melanin. If melanin ceases to exist, then this world ceases to exist too. I don't believe that you can wash melanin out of this planet. Not even if you try to kill all of us. It's not going to happen because the world will reprocreate melanin. That's what it is. And that is what brings me to this video when I say genetic racism. People ain't coming for you because they fear you for your spiritual, because when we read, biblically, right, we're reading on the spiritual aspect of what we read is based on religion. So it's like when you look at it, you think that they're fighting for the religion, they're fighting for the ism of it. The wish people are fighting the ism. They are fighting the ism, they're fighting the racial. They're fighting to keep you out of the racial bloodline. That's what they're fighting for. They're telling you that they are specific people. They are chosen people by the lineage that brought them, which is Abraham. And you, my friend, melanated people, are the subjects. Whether you want to take it for what it is or what you don't want to take it for, that's what it is. They're telling you that you're the subject and you can only come in by the blood of the Lamb and the word of his testimonies. But you can't come in genetically because you're not one of them. So let's go back into the genetics of the Solomon and the Abrahams. Now, if you were to look at Solomon, right, King Solomon, if you were to look at King Solomon, a lot of Rastafarians, right, followed Selassie, King Selassie. And King Selassie was on the throne of Ethiopia. And he was considered by factual, by potency, firm belief that he was one of the last living ancestors of King David, King Solomon, King David. And he was reverenced as such by the powers there be. He was reverenced as such. He was treated as such because he was such. Now, one may ask, how could he, if you're saying that he is, he was a watered down version, and if you're saying that melanated people were the originals in Ethiopia, how that can be. But again, I told you, I explained that King Solomon and King David they were whores. They were whoring in polygamy. And not that I'm against polygamy, that's another topic, but if it's done right, it's fine. But King Solomon was out of it. He had gone out of the boundaries that was set for polygamy. He had all his money, he had all his concubines. He could have done that. So he took whatever he wanted. He took. And so he had all different types of women. He had all Indians, blacks, Asians, whatever that was available. He said he did not spare his heart anything. Whatever his heart wanted, he gave it to his heart. Okay, so therefore, when you see what came out of Egypt is what one may call a mulatto. Now, if you look at the features, they're not Negroid mulattoes. They look more like they are Indian mulattoes, okay? Or it could have been a different, there can be a different mixing. Now, I'm not going to sit there and specify exactly what the genetics is made up of, because I don't know. But you can look at one feature and you can tell, based on the color of the skin and the feature, you can tell. It's just like you look at a Spanish person and you can tell, some Spanish people, you can tell that they have a lot of, they do have black, because all of them were black at one point, but you can see the Indian in them, and they're different. The thing about Indians is they're different groups of Indians. Like my mom was a Indian. She looked like the Guyanese Indian, right? My mom looked like Guyanese Indian. Most times I see Guyanese, I see my mother. When I see Trini Indians, no. When I see Guyanese Indian, my mom looked like Guyanese Indian. And so there are many different Indians. Just like we as melanated people, there are many different melanated groups. At some point, the tribes would mark you, so people could define you when they see you. They know you're Bantu, or you're Hutu, or you're Intu, or all the twos that came with it. They had the marks on their faces, or the tattoos on their bodies. They had ways to identify, that one can identify who they were. So yeah. So if you look at back to Selassie, who is recorded genetically to be one of he was the last of Solomon, right? It is said that the throne, the English throne, has over 22 artifacts of King Solomon, the original King Solomon and David. And the reason why they have it is because they said that they are heirs of it. One of the things I can say, guys, here is that I am not here to dispute who are heirs of what, but I am here to dispute that me as a melanated person cannot be. I couldn't come from the bush. I could not just come from the bush. You understand? Because that's what they're saying. Well, you're bush people. I couldn't just come from the bush. My ancestors couldn't just derive from bushmen with no lineage. That makes no damn sense. I could not enter the Godhead or the God code, the God DNA, only because Christ came in and brought me in as a Gentile. That's fuckery. Yeah, that's nonsense. Because everything is from within. Nothing comes out of without. If I am a child of God, I could only be a child of God from within my DNA, not outside of my DNA, not by the outside spiritual awakening that religion gives. I can only be a child of God from within myself. This planet has codes. It comes with codes. It comes with words. It comes with a lot. I stopped studying because there's so much information that it can make your head this big. And it also makes you feel so out of place that you don't know, you don't want to be in this place. And not because you're depressed, not because you're sad, it's just because you don't fit in. You like this place, when you are awakened and you see all the lies that have been told and all the cruelty and atrocities and it is shocking. And when you go through that shock, you do not want to be part of this world. Now, there's a thing a verse in the Bible said that when you wake up spiritually, you're not of that world. It's kind of that. You're not of that world because it doesn't, it don't align. It's like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense because you can literally see, you can see the lies that are being told. You can see the undercover, according to Kanye West, said, poking the bear that is being done. You can see it. You can, and it's so thick. You don't even have, you need a cutlass to chop it down because it's just so present. But guys, let me tell you, a lot has been done to us genetically. A lot has been pounded upon us. And the one thing about us is we have showed ourselves to be very peaceful people. And not only peaceful, but we have the heart of the Lion of Judah. And we also has the warrior spirit. We have the heart full of kindness, and we cease to hurt others other than ourselves. We don't know how to stop hurting ourselves, but when it comes to others, we are like a parent. We parent them, we cradle them, we protect them. I remembered when I was working as a childcare provider, a St. Lucian girl. I was in the park sitting, playing with the kids I had, and she came with a little girl, and she had her own daughter. Her daughter was like 7 years old. So the daughter, who I guess is used to playing with the child that her mother watches, that child was outside playing with her friends. So the little melanated girl of St. Lucian mom wanted to play with her friend. And her friend is the child that her mom takes care of, right? But that child is outside in the playground playing with her friends, and all her friends are Caucasians. So that little white girl black melanated little girl is trying to get in. She's trying to get a chance to play with her friend, but her friend is not giving her any attention because her friend is with her friends, her Caucasian friends. So that little white girl, you want to stand a chance. So the mom recognized what was going on, and the mom called her daughter. And the mom went off on the child, her child. You ugly. You don't see you ugly. Go sit down. You don't see she want to play for you because you ugly. Let me put back my glasses. Let me put back my glasses. Guys, these are not real glasses. These are just reading glasses I buy over the counter because I notice I need a little help with my reading. So I have to go to the eye doctor to get some reading glasses. And I also need to get some herbs to give my eyes some strength because I don't like that. I'm too young I'm too young for that. Listen, I sat down and I was like, girl, what are you? I turned. She said some explicits at her child, and I was like, what? I was like, what? I didn't know the person. I didn't know the girl. I said, excuse me, miss, is that your daughter? She said, yeah. I said, why are you speaking to your daughter like that? Oh, but she don't see the girl, what's that for the child? Let's just say Fran. She don't see Fran that want to play with her. She just running around trying to make friends play with Fran. And Fran is with her friends. Now, mind you, what's happening there with the mom, right, is that she is hurt. She is hurt that the little girl is treating her daughter ill. Rather than calling the child, the little girl, and talk to her, because here is the racial barrier, right? The racial barrier is at play here. The child is playing for her friends. She don't have a need for her daughter. When they're inside, I'm sure that's her best friend. But right now, she's there with her friends. She doesn't need this little melanated child around her. The mom is hurt and she's lashing out. She can't lash out at the child, because she's getting paid to watch that child. But so she lashed out at her child. So I said, let me tell you something, girl. Shut that down. Cut it out, stop it, nip it, throw it. Let me tell you something. Don't you ever do that to your child again. I said to her, listen, girl, you deserve a slap. But I'm going to tell you this. Don't you ever embarrass your child like that again. And I explained to her what is going on. And I said, if there is anything, you need to sit your little girl down and now give her a lesson on what is genetic racism. I didn't say that at the time, but I did say, what is racism? Speak to your child on that. Give your child some value now. Tell her how much you love her. And tell her how much important she is to you. And tell her that her black skin is beautiful. And tell her that this is sun-kissed and the glow of life. And in that skin holds the mitochondria DNA of what is God. Tell her that. But don't tell her that she's ugly and she's and all these words that you're calling her. She sat there and she said, I'm sorry. I was just upset because I said, I know exactly why. And that happened over 15 years ago, over 12 years ago. Because Alea is 14. And the kids I was with at that time was same age with Alea. So that's like 14 years ago. I'll say, so the kids were probably about 4 at the time, or 3.5. Yeah, so maybe 12 years ago. So I said to her, don't ever, ever treat your child like that again. Because you need to keep in mind that what you are telling her is what she becomes. And that's another thing about us as African people. We don't understand the power that this hold. We don't even, we said faith is the substance of things, hope for the evidence of things not seen. But what's speaking it into existence? Isn't it your tongue? And again, that's another, I don't want to digress. I'll keep on track with what I'm saying. But the thing that we need to learn as melanated people is genetic hijacking has been taking place from since the beginning of the power of there that be. Okay? Genetic hijacking is here very alive and well because that is the only way the power, their power, can stay alive. Nobody have to tell me something is wrong with the picture. Nobody. Nobody have to tell me that something is very wrong with this picture. Nobody has to tell me. It is a powerful, potent feeling, tangible feeling. And I know something is very wrong with the picture. And I will tell you why I know something is wrong with the picture. When I can bask in the sun, I don't wear sunscreen, honey. And that's no shade. I see some melanated people splashing on the sunscreen. I have to. I understand sun blocking for my skin, that there will be repercussions for my vitamin D. I understand that vitamin D is that one. It's not even a vitamin. It is not even a vitamin. It is the life code that keeps you here. Vitamin D. So if the light code that keeps me here, the life code that gives me life, is the sun above my head, and I can take it without blocking it, what does that tell me? No shade. If there were to be a chosen, wouldn't the universe create what it is in the image of likeness of what it is? Would it not create? The Bible says that we are in the image and the likeness of what is God, right? Wouldn't the universe create its children in the likeness of what it is? So let's go back to King Solomon. King Solomon, not King Solomon, King Selassie, was considered the last. Why isn't it so that the Wish people have never recognized their brother, their tribe, King Selassie? Wouldn't he be one to call, wouldn't you call him brother? Because isn't he a tribe? Because he said the tribes was lost. They disappear. They dissipate. And only Judah was left. But he's a Judah too because he was considered. You can go on Google, Wikipedia, wherever, and look for it. He was the heir of the throne of King Solomon. He sat on the damn throne until he died. So if you also came from there, wouldn't that make you cousins, brothers, something? Wouldn't it? Wouldn't you be there too with him? Why aren't you there? Why were you never there? Jeez. This is atrocity, cruelty. Powerful. Powerful. Spiritual warfare, genetic racism warfare, and witchcraft at its best. Witchcraft at its best, guys. Witchcraft at its best. I'm telling you, witchcraft at its best. The things that has been done to us. But listen, Kanye West and Kyrie Irving they are chosen for a day like today. One may agree to disagree, but they are chosen for a day like today. If I came and tell you what Kyrie Irving said and what Kanye West did or said, you wouldn't hear. It would probably never reach you. But because they said it, every four corners of the world heard it, okay? the 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 truth, right? The truth. Nothing can hide the truth when the time comes to be revealed. Nothing. Nothing can and will hide the truth when the time comes for it to be revealed. There's nothing and no one can hide the truth. Do you know how many people heard Kyrie Irving, what he did? Do you know how many people heard what Kanye West said? So Kanye West and Kyrie Irving, they're minute in this. They're little. They're nothing in this equation. They're a factor or a fraction of the fact of that fact. Because this is the revolution. And the revolution is the knowledge of self. And the knowledge of self will block spiritual racism and biological racism. That's what the Kyrie Irvings and the Kanye Wests and all the others that telling us something is there for. Because they have a platform that you don't have. We might sit on our little Facebook and tell a little bit here, a little bit there, how many people it reached, what they said reached the whole world. Because the whole world have to hear, and it was set for a time like today. It was set for a time like now, so that it can be told, so that you, me, the young child, everybody can hear it. Because it is important for us to know what is being done and what is continue being done. We are being our godly seed is being hijacked right from under our nose. Now, would I say that God has a chosen people? Nah. God don't have chosen people. It's like saying I have a chosen child. God don't have a chosen people. But I cannot make a rat. Since I'm a human, I can only create a human. Because that's who I am. When I procreate with a human, I can only create a human. So if God were to create something, it would look like the image and likeness of God. It's just like, it is just like, I'll take that call later. It is just like, the call just got my thought just got lost. I'm about to close, guys. It's almost that time. So it's just like, let's just say there are very different variants of food, like ginger, right? When I go buy ginger or what we call chichima turmeric, I always choose the smaller one because the smaller one is the potent one. But there are two types on the market. They're the big fat one that is just water, and then there's a very small one that has the potency of what is the real turmeric or ginger. And there are a lot of fruits on the market like that. There are grapes with seeds and there are seedless grapes. There are oranges with seed and oranges without. How did that come about? It was genetically modified. Our ancestors have I grew up as a child knowing about what they call magote. Taking one thing and created something out of it. So stop sitting there and acting like y'all don't know what's up, okay? Stop acting like y'all don't know what's up. It's about time melanated people stop pretending like they have to be nice. I mean, we have to be nice, yeah. But stop acting like our truth offends and stop acting like our truth shouldn't be told to pacify people and their nonsense. Because it's nonsense, according to African nonsense. It is pure nonsense. And not to mention that nonsense is just not nonsense. So that nonsense is affecting us. So I'm on 29 minutes and I have to end. So guys, love you guys. Keep watching Alan Gold Talk. More to come. Mwah. Have a great day.